The year is 1934. These German scientists have discovered the idea that if a uranium atom is split into two elements, then there is a chance that the energy of the nucleus may be released. If this causes a chain reaction, then it will occur in a massive explosion capable of killing tens of thousands of people. This process is known as nuclear fission and may spell the end of the world. The United States military quickly set up a laboratory of operations in sparsely populated Los Alamos, New Mexico, specifically for a school of boys. Oppenheimer led a group of scientists and began what is known as the Manhattan Project. 5 years later, a German-born Jewish scientist escaping to America during the Holocaust known as Albert Einstein wrote a letter to President Roosevelt describing the potential power of the bomb. Although he opposed the weapon, he feared what would happen if Germany got their hands on one first and laid out the first plans to the nuclear weapon.
Hello? Oh my god. I don't care what the cost is. I want $100 million spent on uranium-235 isotope of plutonium. What do you mean we don't have the money? I don't think you understand. There is a potential for destruction greater than the world could ever imagine. Yes, it's that important. Now get on with it. I don't care what it costs. This is national security. Okay? I love you too, Mom.
Alright gang, the President gave us the green light to study these nuclear materials. Now, first things first, what should we name this?
How about the League of Substitute Materials?
That actually sounds pretty good, but in case if someone digs into this, we have to name it under an alias, and because we usually name these under our hometown city district, how about let's name it the Manhattan District?
I have a question. We know nothing about nukes. Shouldn't we get somebody who does?
I heard someone talking about science and I'm just around the corner.
You're J. Robert Oppenheimer, professor at UC Berkeley on nuclear materials.
That's me. I'm the theoretical physicist that's developed hundreds of groundbreaking theories about this new radioactive material.
Is this wife communist?
That's not all, he's just a professor.
I think we should let him in.
What? Are you crazy? We can't let this man lead one of the most potentially disastrous projects in all of history.
He has qualifications, and plus the Germans aren't going to wait for us.
Fine, you're in.
Now, gentlemen, to create this bomb, we need a very specific type of uranium, isotope number 235. This occurs very rarely in nature, so we'll have to extract it somehow. Luckily, we can use the thermal extraction method to concentrate it because this heavier, more volatile uranium concentrates in colder areas.
I'm confused. How long will this take?
Well, to create this theoretical bomb, we need a concentration of isotope 235 that's about 85%. At current rates, this could take anywhere between 1 to 4 years. There's only one problem with it though. We're not quite sure how to create nuclear fission in a small enough container that can be dropped from an airplane.
Actually, sir, I remember reading something from a scientific journal in which a gun type of model will propel a uranium bullet to hit an cylindrical target and incite nuclear fission.
So how is this different from the conventional bomb?
In many ways, while a conventional bomb gains its power from chemical energy that is released upon heat or electrical initiation, the nuclear bomb we are proposing contains the power of the atom, specifically the uranium atom, that due to its large size contains much more energy than the average atom. However, if one of these were to split, releasing its energy, the amount of energy could barely lift a grain of sand. However, if we were to simultaneously split many atoms in a chain reaction from a piece of uranium type 235, roughly the size of a large baseball, the amount of energy could be more substantial than anything created to this date.
Well, I like it, but couldn't it go off on accident?
Not unless we stack lead tubing. This would slow the neutrons, and that would allow a slower, more powerful explosion. Due to its small size, relatively, I think we could call this little boy.
Well, Mr. Oppenheimer, we have our prototype.
Trinity Testing Site. Detonation of Model 42 to demonstrate the potential capabilities of a nuclear weapon. Commencing in 3, 2, 1.
There can be no peace in the world until the military power of Japan is destroyed, with the same completeness as was the power of the European dictators. To do that, we are now engaged in the process of deploying millions of our armed forces against Japan in a mass movement of troops and supplies and weapons over 14,000 miles. A military and naval fleet unequaled in all history. Substantial portions of Japan's key industrial centers have been leveled to the ground in a series of record incendiary raids. What has already happened to Tokyo will happen to every Japanese city whose industries feed the Japanese war machine. If the Japanese...
And for that moment on, I knew we had stumbled upon the ultimate ending, the death of all living creatures on this forsaken planet. This kind of sheer power was not meant for men to grasp. Once this type of technology diffuses to all advanced areas of the globe, every foreign military interaction will include the threat of a nuclear detonation. Whether it spelled doom or salvation, we had become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Alright gang, the president... I'll film.